Hey there and welcome back to what is already episode 18 of Sims Sunday. My name is Pete and this is the series where we try to complete The Sims 3. And as we're asked to send Ayesha off to work in the middle of the night here, we have to decline that. We need her to take care of Paul in the morning, she just went to bed, and all in all that would massively screw up the plans for this episode, so we will let her sleep this time and accept a slight drop in work performance. In the last episode, we switched Pete to the military career after there was simply not much more to do for him in the professional athlete career. We taught a ton of skills to Paul, and we used the final days of Ayesha's time off from work to get a bit closer to completing the Chess Grandmaster and Celestial Explorer challenges in the logic skill. We start things off then with Pete, who has his first day in the military in front of him. And that means getting up early, shoving down a quick meal, and then it's off to work. Thanks to the workaholic trait, he is set to work hard, and we always want him to do so in order to reach level 10 of the career path as fast as possible. Just a few moments later, Ayesha is up and ready to go as well. Before finally going back to work today, she will take care of Paul, most importantly give the boy something to eat, and then leave. I thought about switching careers with her as well, and I might still do so, but for now she brings home a good amount of money while Pete starts again from the bottom, so maybe it's best if we wait a bit until we switch her over to something else. And yes, we will have to call the babysitter for the first time today, otherwise we can't leave Paul alone at home. Our front door is locked, however, so Paul will be left in peace inside, and Ayesha will also be back in the early afternoon, so I think he will manage to keep himself entertained. And while our well-trained son is walking by himself over to the potty chair to use that by himself, our babysitter proves to be worth every simoleon and plays with the sprinkler. It's definitely time for Paul to age up. While Paul has been kept busy with his toys, Ayesha is already done with her work for today. She also gets a nice raise, which will certainly make up for the fact that the next thing she's about to do is clean out Paul's potty chair. At least afterwards, she can spend some time on her favorite hobby and work towards the Celestial Explorer skill challenge. Switching over to Pete, his first day in the military has also come to an end, and as you can see, compared to Ayesha, he is getting paid horribly. But that's his first of hopefully many promotions right here, so things are looking good for him. Pete will only make a quick stop at home to take a shower, and while he does, it's Monday again, so we can collect our investment money. While we are in the town map, we can already schedule another visit to the library for Pete and Paul to finish what we started in the last episode. Thanks to user Elder Scrolls Swimmer, I noticed that we did not read the logic skill books for toddlers to Paul yet. I assumed that he could only get 3 points in the skill either from the book or by playing with blocks, but after reading a few forums, it seems that it is at least possible to get him to level 4. So to be on the safe side, we will read him all 3 logic books and then see where he ends up. On the way to the library, a nice surprise. Ayesha has already discovered star number 15, so only 5 more to go until she reaches 20 and completes the skill challenge. She can now spend some of the cash she just earned to pay our bills, which are still relatively low, mostly due to the fact that we have already invested a ton of money into shops around town instead of building and buying a lot. And with good progress towards one skill challenge, we can now switch over to another one and have Ayesha call her next chess opponent. Meanwhile, in the library, Pete and Paul have started the logic skill learning session. From what we saw last time, I assume this one will only take a few moments. Back at home, Ayesha's chess opponent Ryan Norwood has arrived. Last time we had him over, he knocked over all the pieces in frustration, so I really hope he can contain himself today. And that's 2 out of 3 for Paul. Seems like his toddler brain is really destined for great things. And speaking of, while Pete and Paul finish the 3rd skill book over in the library, Ayesha flawlessly defeats Ryan, which should bring the title of Chess Grandmaster very, very close. And because things have been going so well for her, let's call another opponent and hopefully move even closer. With Pete back at home, we can work on a skill opportunity that he has, upgrade the stereo and return it for cash. I admit I have not yet decided on the return it part, because the stereo offers 2 unique upgrades that I want Pete to complete first. To get started, he can improve the speakers, while Kia Humphreys arrives for a game of chess and Paul makes his way over to the potty chair. And after a long day of playing and learning, Paul is tired, and despite all of his skills, he can't climb the crypt just yet, so Pete will have to assist him here. And after putting Paul to bed, Pete can empty the potty chair, just as Ayesha gets another chess victory. Since it seems to be a good day for her, who knows, maybe we can even discover another star before going to bed. Alright, it's 10 and that means it's time to wrap up the upgrade work and go to sleep. The workday tomorrow will once again start early. Two hours later, and Ayesha has not been successful on the telescope. She is on track to get the skill challenge though, so we can safely send her off to bed as well, and skip ahead to the next morning. Welcome back, and we have a slightly unusual start to the day here. With Pete fully rested but only halfway entertained, it seemed like a good idea to have him and Ayesha raise that fun bar a bit, since Pete will also work hard and this makes sure he doesn't get stressed that easily. Ayesha will go back to sleep, but Pete can stay awake and fulfill his first wish for the day by tickling Paul. To kill the time it takes until the carpool arrives, Pete can continue to upgrade the stereo and then head off to work a few moments later. Ayesha's first order of business for today is breakfast, and we want to make sure that she cleans up her mess by using the dishwasher in the hopes that the thing breaks at one point. Yes, I know, that sounds a bit stupid, but there is a skill challenge for repairing electrical objects that I would like to get with Pete, and so far none of the electrical things we own have actually been repaired by him. It seems like we also have some spoiled food in the fridge, so Ayesha can clean that out, then change Paul's diaper and go to work. Once again, the babysitter needs to be called, and once again she makes sure to stay as far away from Paul as possible. An opportunity presents itself for Pete. Stay late at work to improve coworker relationships. I think we will have to pass. Pete will get promoted anyway today, and coworker relationships are not a factor for work performance in the military career, so no, we won't take this one. Instead, we can switch to Ayesha, who is done at the police station again. Yesterday's race has quite literally paid off, and she will begin her after-work activities by searching the galaxy back at home. Back to Pete we go, and another promotion awaits. That's already level 3 in the military career for him, so he is progressing quickly, but then again he has a very well suited skill set for that career path. Back at home he can continue to upgrade the stereo, and let's not forget about Ayesha, who has now discovered star number 16.
Tafila?
To keep her busy, we will switch over to chess, and if I'm not mistaken, she only needs one more win to finally become a Chess Grandmaster. Before we grab the crown, however, Paul requires our attention, so let's feed him, clean out his mess in the potty chair, and then we can already see Ayesha's chess opponent has arrived. Lovely. Pete has finished the improved speakers upgrade for the stereo. This marks the 10th unique upgrade he has applied so far, which completes the Tinkerer's skill challenge. As a result, he will now no longer fail when upgrading objects, but from what I know, the handiness trait does exactly the same, so the effect is a bit redundant here. Nonetheless, we can continue right away and immediately replace the upgrade we just finished with the wire house with speakers one. Shortly after, we have to take another break as Paul is finished on the potty chair, so we will of course gladly be of service. And here it is. Ayesha Complete has defeated Simmy's Bachelor and is now a Chess Grandmaster. At the same time, this would fulfill the Chess Legend lifetime wish, which requires to become a Chess Grandmaster and have level 10 in the logic skill. Ayesha has both, so can mark that as completed. For the remainder of the evening, Pete will continue to upgrade the stereo, and Ayesha will once again try her luck on the telescope. Quick change of plans for Pete. He could use a shower and something to eat before going to bed, so he will stop upgrading and do exactly that in that order. That's more like it. Now we can clean out the potty chair, and congratulations for perfect timing, Ayesha. That's another star, number 17, only 3 more to go. But not today. With a lovely end to the day, we can send both Pete and Ayesha off to sleep and make a cut here. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.